it's even specifically about the Kia store right now. I do want to get to your dad.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your dad.
Yeah.
I want to still talk maybe even a little more car business because believe it or
Sure.
not, every military guy I know out there in the world, and every veteran I know in the world has got a car. That's all they ever want to talk to me
Yeah.
about their Kia of Everett. But take a minute, Eric. Just talk about your store, your team. Again, hats off to them. Everyone that I've kind of met and communicated with have been fabulous, and they do again reflect the passion and the leadership of their leader. Go ahead and chat about your store a little bit and your team, Eric.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, again, Kia of Everett, Chris Brown and Shannon Harnish are the owners of are the owners of Kia of Everett. They run the Harnish Auto family, long-standing family out of the Puyallup area. That's where most of their stores are. We have 2 stores up here in Everett. We have Kia of Everett and Chevy of Everett. But their guiding principles. What drives them is taking care of their people. And when I went to work for them, and it'd be 8 years ago in August, I have never worked for a place and for anybody that really valued my opinion and really took the ideas I had and actually put them into play. And I was the used car manager for that Subaru store that they own, and it was I was just blown away by how my opinion really mattered. And all these years of experience was something that I felt like, was I had a lot to offer, but I was always somebody who knew what my place was on used car manager. I'll focus on used cars, but they wanted to know what I thought about the advertising, what I wanted to do, differently, and they always had this saying, I always loved the saying, we're willing to try something for 90 days and let's see how it goes. That was never the case for anybody else that I ever worked for. So that freedom has allowed me, to take Kia of Everett, to places that I don't think anybody really expected it to go. Honestly, Chris and I, originally the goal was he bought the store in the middle of COVID. We opened in November 2020, and when we found out that he bought the store, it's like, wow, that's exciting, Kia. And, I'm thinking maybe it's Kia in Puyallup. He goes, nope, it's up in Everett. I'm thinking, whew, that's a long ways away. And the original plan was I was going to help him just get his feet on the ground, make sure all of his cars, were where they needed to be. We had all the right values and all the blocking and tackling it takes when you're opening up a new store or taking over a point from an existing owner, which we did. And, the one thing that I found when I very first got here, and I wasn't here for very long when I figured this out, is this is the most genuine place I'd ever worked at. I mean, you had some real car guys here, Greg. I mean, these are guys, they've had, they have a track record. I mean, these are some guys that have been through it and they were pros. I mean, some of the best pros I've ever worked for, some just OGs, managers the same way. And I just never felt more at home, like, man, this is like the place, and so the conversation changed, like, as we're getting towards the end of the transition, it's really time for me to go back to Puyallup. I please, let me stay here. Let me go and see what I can do with this. This would be an opportunity, I think, that I could be, very important. I can make this happen for us, and the owner didn't really have plans to name a general manager right away. And he gave me the opportunity, and I just couldn't be more grateful. He basically, said, this is your slate. You make it how you want it to be. Here's the things that are important to me. He communicates, like nobody else. Shannon the same way. And shoot, I mean, we just took off. I mean, just quickly, turned on the music. That was one of the very first things this guy did is he installed really good speakers and got a really good music system. We just turned on the music because the place was really quiet when we very first got here. And I swear that was magic. I mean, it's probably one of the most important things on our showroom is that there's a beat to the place, and everybody that comes in here knows it and they feel it. And they always tell me, man, I just walk in this place, I can feel the electricity. And part of me is always wondering, is this something they're just telling me because that's what I like to hear, or is that the truth? But I really believe that that's the truth because I feel it too, and that's something that, I will fight for, make sure that it's always that way. We've definitely been through it. We've been through our ups and downs. We've in growing, there's always going to be pain. We've had plenty of that, but the pain is not the kind of pain where, people are doing the wrong thing. It's the kind of pain that, hey, we want to get better. We want to get bigger. We want to do more. How do we get there? Which was where I get pushed, it's like, man, I got a group of people that really want to grow. I have to grow with them. And that's the secret sauce of this place. We grow together. We work together. We communicate like crazy, and we have the support of two amazing dealers that, have allowed us, to spread our wings and really fly. And that's an opportunity that I don't think a lot of people will ever get in this business. And that I feel like I did my time. I've worked, I've had, done plenty of hours. I know you were talking in your intro about how we need to talk about car wives. I'm with you. My wife's been there with me this whole time, for 21 and a half years, she's been with me. And, or 21 years she's been with me. And, there's been plenty of times I called her at 7:30. It looks like I'm getting out of here. I'll see you at 8, for dinner, and 10 o'clock. Hey, I'm sorry. We had a late deal. I'm sure your wife has heard that about a million times, especially being in finance, but she stuck with me. And, with her support and with the support of the dealer and all these great employees, Kia of Everett is really a special place. So, yeah, I mean, I have, an evolving team still. We're still growing our team, but I'm telling you, Greg, you are a guy who could appreciate these OGs, that I had here. I mean, we have some just amazing car guys, and that was really the secret sauce. And it was them that made me want to come, to work in Everett.